Hi, hello everyone. Good morning, my dear young minds. Welcome back to biology session. Today, our important chapter, morphology of flowering plants. Very important chapter. This chapter has a good weightage for NEET object exam. Similarly, KCET exam. Right? We are expecting minimum 3 questions and a maximum 4 questions from morphology. This chapter include several subtopics. First, root headlines, main points from this chapter. First, headlines, root, types of roots, functions of root, and modifications of root. Next, stem, functions of stem and stem modifications. Next, leaf, leaf, types of leaves, leaf modifications, and phyllotaxy. Followed by flower. Before flower, inflorescence. What is inflorescence? Types of inflorescence, racemose and cymose. Next, flower. Parts in a flower, sepal, petal, androecium, gynoecium. Different botanical terminology important. Suppose monoadelphous, diadelphous, polyadelphous, trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous, polymerous. Okay, actinomorphic, zygomorphic. This technical terms meaning important. Followed by estivation, types of estivation, placentation, types of placentation, along with diagrams with examples, very important. Next to go through fruit, types of fruits, fleshy fruits, dry fruits, true fruits, false fruits. After fruit, seed character, seed, types of seeds, dicot seed and monocot seed, right? Next, semi-technical description of flowering plants that include taxonomy. Remember all 4 families. Out of 4 families, Brassicaceae family floral diagram and floral formula only mentioned in NCERT. Next, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae, 3 families. Their characteristic features. These are the main topics covered from morphology. So it is very lengthy chapter, important chapter and interesting chapter. At the same time, this chapter has a very good weightage for objective exams. Clear? Come back situation. First we discuss root. Root. You know very well what are the parts in a plant. Root system, shoot system, okay, and shoot bear nodes, internodes, side branches, leaves, fruits, flowers, bark, etc. In NCERT book, total plant structure given and roughly go through once what are the parts in a plant. You have to identify and observe it, don't do neglect. After that, next character, root. Root is underground part of the plant, grow into deeper layers of soil, and root provide physical support, mechanical strength to the plant. On the other hand, root absorb bulk amount of water and minerals translocated to all other parts of the plant. Okay. Next to regions of root. Before that, types of root. Types. Types of root. Broadly, roots are of 3 kinds. Fibrous roots means fibrous root system, taproot system, and adventitious root system. 3 types important. Fibrous root system, example, all monocots, grasses, grass plants, paddy, jowar, bajra, oats, finger millets, bamboo, all grass plants. Fibrous roots arise from base of the stem. Radical replaced by fibrous roots. Clear. Next, taproot system. Taproot system example all dicot plants. Taproot system mainly made up of three types of roots: primary root, secondary root, and lateral roots. That means tertiary root. Tertiary root. That is called taproot system. It is quite common in all dicot plants. Clear. Next, in 2020 NEET object exam, one question covered from taproot system. Okay. Next, go through adventitious root system. Adventitious roots means what? Roots which arise from other than the radical. Other than the radical are called adventitious roots. Example, some dicot plants and a majority of monocot plants. Okay, a best example, sweet potato, prop roots, pillar roots, brass roots. These are all the best examples of adventitious roots. Okay, that is about types of roots. Next, regions of root. Regions of root. There are three regions in a root. Once observe carefully diagrammatic representation of NCERT. Regions of root. Broadly, root has three regions. Region of meristematic activity. See, roughly go through diagrammatic representation. Regions of meristematic activity. Region of elongation and region of maturation. Region of maturation bears 2 to many root hairs. Important. Root broadly consists of three regions. Region of meristematic activity. In this region, all cells are more actively divide and add new cells to the root. Therefore, the part of the root apex grow into deeper layers of soil. Root apex enclose with the root cap. It is root cap. Root cap protect root tip from earth temperature and pressure. Next, region of elongation. In this region, all cells are highly elongated and enlarged due to addition of new cytoplasm and cell wall material. Cells are highly elongated and enlarged. Third region is called region of maturation. In this region, all cells are almost fully grow in size, bulged in size, stop the ability to divide, but performs their respective functions. Root hairs, large number of root hairs arise from region of maturation. Diagram important, parts important. Okay, I am expecting one question compulsorily from regions of root. Next one, modifications. Root modifications. It include several examples. Suppose in some plants, roots store food. Example, beetroot, carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip, etc. So due to deposition, means addition of food, the part of the root bulge in size. Shape of the root again vary from species to species. Okay. Suppose carrot, conical shape. conical shape, radish, spindle shape, beetroot, nappy form shape, etc. The shape of the root vary from species to species. Carrot, conical in shape, radish, white in color, spindle in shape, and beetroot or turnip, nappy form shape. These are the different shapes of root. In some plants, roots provide additional support. Best example, prop roots, stilt roots, etc. Prop roots example, banyan tree. Banyan tree, scientific name, Ficus bengalensis. Ficus bengalensis, banyan tree. In banyan tree, the size of the side branches are big and it has more weight. Therefore, from the ventral surface of the side branches, new roots arise and grows towards down, touches soil. Such roots are called prop roots or pillar roots. They provide additional support for side branches. Next, stilt roots or brass roots. Example, maize, jowar, sugarcane, etc. From basal node, special roots arise. These roots goes down, touches soil and provide physical support and additional support to the stem. Such roots are called brass roots or stilt roots. In some other examples, epiphytes. Epiphyte means a plant which grow on other plant called epiphytes. Example, vanda, Taeniophyllum, trapa, etc. Go through vanda. Velamen roots are common in vanda. Velamen roots hang into atmosphere. They absorb moisture from surrounding atmosphere. Okay, such roots are called velamen roots. In some plants, roots perform photosynthesis. Example, Taeniophyllum. The best example, Taeniophyllum. In Taeniophyllum, color of root is green color. Leaves are absent or completely reduced. Hence, root perform photosynthesis. Such roots are called photosynthetic roots. Example, Taeniophyllum. Taeniophyllum also an epiphyte. Very important. Remember, don't forget. Next, aerial roots. Aerial roots also called breathing roots or respiratory roots, pneumatophores. Pneumotophore, technical term. Example, mangrove plants. Mangrove plants example, Rhizophora, Avicennia, etc. Right? In mangroves, special roots arise from base of the stem, emerge above soil, grow towards aerial, nearly 10 to 12 inches height. Such roots are called aerial roots or breathing roots or respiratory roots or pneumatophores. At the tip of the aerial root, it has a natural opening called pneumathode. Pneumathode is equals to lenticel. Lenticel also called pneumathode that helps in exchange of gases. The best example, mangrove plants, mangrove forest. Do you know which is the biggest mangrove forest in the world? Sundarbans forest. Sundarbans forest, West Bengal. That's all. These are the various types of roots and the modifications of root. Modifications of root. Root topic completed. Next to stem. Stem. Aerial part of the plant is called stem. Stem grow towards aerial. Stem. The part of the stem grow towards aerial and grow over several meters height. What are the functions of stem? Stem performs several functions. Stem provide physical support to the all parts of the plant. like for leaves, fruits, side branches, okay, buds. For each and every part, stem provide physical support. One more function, stem supply water, nutrients, food for each and every part of the plant, right? These are the some functions of stem. Next, stem modifications. Stem modifications are of three kinds. Modifications of stem. Modifications of stem. It's are of three kinds. Aerial stem modifications. Aerial stem modifications. Example, phylloclade, thorns, tendrils means stem tendrils, etc. Aerial stem modifications. Some modifications occur in aerial part of the stem. Such modifications are called aerial stem modifications. Phylloclade. Phylloclade means modified stem. Example, Opuntia. Best example, Opuntia, cactus, etc. Next, thorns. Thorn is modified bud. Okay, thorns very strong, woody, having pointed end, narrow end, protect plant from herbivores. That is about thorns. Thorns are modified buds or modified stems. Next, stem tendrils. What is tendril? Stem tendrils. So tendrils are long, narrow, thin, wiry, leafless, spring-like structures are called tendrils. Tendrils again are of two kinds, stem tendrils and leaf tendrils. Now here we are discussing about stem tendrils. Stem tendrils, example, cucumber, grape, etc. Grape means Vitis vinifera, scientific name, common name grape. From the tip of the stem, small spring-like, long, narrow, leafless, spring-like structures arise. Such structures are called stem tendrils. Stem tendrils helps in climbing. With the help of tendrils, such plants take support to other plants and climb towards aerial. Thereby, the part of leaf exposed towards sunlight and perform photosynthesis. That is the importance of tendrils, stem tendrils. Three examples very important. Phylloclade very important. Phylloclade means modified stem. Example, Opuntia, aloe vera, cactus, etc. In such plants, leaves reduce to spines. Hence, stem perform photosynthesis. Clear? This is about aerial stem modifications. Next to thorns. Thorns example, citrus and bougainvillea. Two examples. Next, tendrils example, cucumber cucumber and grape wine or grape. Exam is very important because mostly question paper setter prepare questions from morphology of flowering plants based on diagrams or examples. So my dear students, you 100% concentrate on diagrammatic representation plus examples, right? Next, subaerial stem modifications. Subaerial stem modifications. Second one, subaerial stem modifications. For this examples, runners, suckers, stolons and offsets, right? Runners example, oxalis, grasses, oxalis and grasses. Suckers example, chrysanthemum, and mint plant. Okay, even banana also. Stolons example, jasmine, nerium, etc. Offsets example, pistia, eichhornia, etc. Eichhornia. Runners grow horizontally on the surface of the soil. Some basal branches grow horizontally on the surface of the soil. That means prostrate on soil and it touches soil. The area where nodes touches soil, from there it produces large number of roots. Such roots are called adventitious roots. These roots grow into deeper layers of soil and pick up water, minerals, everything. If you want detach these horizontal growing branches, means that cut branch again develop into an individual new plant. Runners example, oxalis and grasses. Clear? Next, suckers. What is sucker? Sucker, a type of underground branch. From base of the main stem, new branches arise, grow horizontally just beneath soil and eventually emerge above soil, form leafy shoot. Such underground growing horizontal branches are called suckers. Suckers example, chrysanthemum, mint and banana. Okay, mint means Mentha piperata, Pudina, Mentha piperata, scientific name, common name mint. Next, stolons. Stolons example, jasmine and nerium. What is stolon? In jasmine or nerium, it has large number of branches, particularly basal branches. Basal branches curvature, bend down, goes down and touches soil. There, the area where branch touches soil, from there new roots arise. Those roots grow into deeper layers of soil. Such types of basal curved branches are called stolons. Example, jasmine and nerium. Next, offsets. Example, aquatic plants such as pistia and eichhornia. Offset means one internodal elongation. One internodal elongation is called offset. See an example. It is a stem. Suppose pistia or icoria stem, node, node, node. Place between two nodes called internode. So one internodal length elongation equals to offset. Okay. Example pistia and icoria. Suppose if you want cut at offset, these two pieces detach from each other and develop into an individual pistia plants or iconia plants. Clear? That is about subaerial stem modifications. Types, examples, very important. Don't forget. I am expecting questions based on examples. Right? Next, underground stem modifications. Underground stem modifications. Third one, underground stem modifications. For this example, tubers, rhizome, bulb, corm, bulbil, etc. Okay. Tuber example, potato. Rhizome example, ginger. Bulb example, onion. Corm example, colocasia. And Amorphophallus. And bulbil example, agave, etc. Underground stem modifications. In some plants, the part of the stem grow into deeper layers of soil. Such stems are called underground stems. Example, tubers. Tubers example, potato. You know well the structure of potato. Potato on the outer side contain 2 to many eye spots. Each eye spot bear 2 to many buds. Okay, such buds are called axillary buds. If you want detach one eye spot, place in soil, means after some time period the part of eye spot develop into an individual potato. That is called tubers. Tubers store food material, brown in color, bulge in size, irregular in shape. Next, rhizome. Rhizome means underground horizontally growing stem is called rhizome. Example, ginger. Ginger scientific name Gingiber officinalis. You know well the structure of ginger. Ginger contain large number of nodes, internodes. Nodes cover with scaly leaves. From ventral side, ginger produce large number of roots called adventitious roots. If you want detach any apical bud in ginger, place in soil, means after some time period the part of apical bud develop into an individual ginger plant. That's all. Next, bulb. Example, onion. These topics you might have studied many times. That's why I am explaining orally. Try to understand. Onion. Example, bulb. So the shape of the onion, it looks like bulb shape. Hence it is called bulb. In onion, stem is highly discoid. Stem is highly condensed or discoid. Such stem is called discoid stem. It is highly condensed, flat in shape. From the base of the stem, large number of adventitious roots arise. Onion made up of fleshy scaly leaves. They store food material. The color of the onion is light pink in color. It is bulge in size due to deposition of food and sulfur. Sulfur concentration also high in fleshy scaly leaves of onion. If you want cut one onion, place in soil, means after some time period the part of the bulb develop into an individual onion. Onion scientific name Allium cepa. Potato scientific name Solanum tuberosum. Solanum tuberosum. Ginger scientific name Gingiber officinalis. Onion scientific name Allium cepa. Next corn. Corn also another type of underground stem modification, but corn grow in vertical manner, whereas rhizome grow in horizontal manner. Okay. Corn also contain large number of nodes, internodes, nodes, internodes. It can grow in vertical manner in soil. Another example, Amorphophallus. Amorphophallus common name is Jaminkand. Jaminkand. One more special character in entire plant kingdom, which plant produce tallest flower, longest flower means Amorphophallus. The height of the flower 6 feet. Okay, nearly 6 feet. That's all. Then bulbil. Bulbil example agave. Agave. Bulbil another type of underground stem modification. Right? In second year, first chapter, reproduction in organisms. There, agave plant diagram clearly mentioned. Once you go through second year, second PUC, first chapter, reproduction in organisms, you have to study and observe carefully what is the shape of the bulbil. Bulb different, bulbil different, you don't confuse. Bulb example, onion and garlic. Bulbil example, agave. That's all. This is about underground stem modifications, right? All area stem modifications, sub-area stem modifications and underground stem modifications together play a crucial role in vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation, a type of asexual mode of reproduction. Clear? Right. That is about the stem and modifications of stem. Remember types and examples. I am expecting questions from examples. Next character, leaf. Leaf. Leaf is stem modification, aerial part of the plant. Aerial part of the plant. You know very well what are the parts in a leaf. Yes, I draw just rough diagram. You know very well what are the parts in a leaf. Branch, base of the leaf, petiole, midrib, veins, veinlets, leaf margin, leaf apex, lamina or blade, and these are stipules. Two small, thin, narrow, flattened leaf-like structures arise from base of the leaf that are called stipules. Rest of the parts in a leaf you know very well. Again discussion on it. Leaf broadly are of two kinds, simple leaf and compound leaf. Simple leaf means entire leaf. Entire leaf is called simple leaf. Next, compound leaf means when leaf break into small pieces. It is simple leaf. Simple leaf. Okay. It is leaf margin. Incision. Incision means lobes. When incisions reaches to midrib, then entire leaf break into small pieces. When incisions reaches to midrib, Then entire leaf break into small pieces. See? Such leaves are called compound leaves. Compound leaves. Compound leaf. In compound leaf, a pair of leaflets. Leaf, leaf, leaflet. Leaflet means small leaves. Remember, don't confuse. A pair of leaflets attached with rachis. Rachis at a common point. Such leaves are called compound leaves. Compound leaves again are of two kinds. Pinnately compound leaves and palmately compound leaves. Okay. Suppose it is pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. Palmately compound leaf. See, it is palmately compound leaf. Large number of leaflets attached at a common point. That common point is called tip of petiole. Tip of petiole. It is petiole. Petiole equals to our lower hand. It is upper hand, lower hand, palm, fingers. Right? Just comparison. Petiole equals to upper hand. Tip of the petiole equals to palm. Leaflets equal fingers. Fingers. All fingers attach at a common point. Here all leaflets attach at a common point, that is called tip of petiole. Just comparison for your clear understands. Hence it is called palmately, palmately compound leaf. That's all. Okay. Next. Buds. Axillary buds arise from base of the pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. But buds absent, that means axillary buds. Axillary buds absent in the axil of leaflets. In the axil of leaflets, but present only at the axil of compound leaf. Pinnately compound leaf or palmately compound leaf. One important neat objective question. This is about leaf, parts in a leaf, types of leaves, etc. Next, phyllotaxy. 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 Phyllo means leaf. Taxy means arrangement. The mode of arrangement of leaves on the branch or on the stem is called phyllotaxy. It is again are of three kinds. Alternate phyllotaxy. See, alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy, and hoard phyllotaxy. Hoard phyllotaxy. Clear? Alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy, and hoard phyllotaxy. Leaf. So along with examples, this concept is very important. Alternate phyllotaxy, example, guava, hibiscus, not guava, hibiscus. And opposite phyllotaxy, example, guava and calotropis. Whole phyllotaxy, example, nerium. Types of phyllotaxy along with examples, very important. I am expecting one question from phyllotaxy. That's all. Right? Next, modifications of leaf. Modifications of leaf. Important concept. Leaf modifications. Leaf modifications. First tendrils, leaf tendrils, chlorophyll, phyllote, etc. Tendrils example pea plants. Chlorophyll example asparagus. Phyllodes example Australian acacia, etc. Three types very important. Okay. Tendrils. Just now I told tendrils are of two kinds: stem tendrils and leaf tendrils. Stem tendrils comes under stem modification, whereas leaf tendrils comes under leaf modifications. Leaf tendrils example pea plant. In pea plant, the type of leaf is alternate, pinnately compound leaf. Pinnately compound leaf. Terminal leaflets differentiate into, modify into tendrils. Such tendrils are called leaf tendrils. Just now I told tendril means long, narrow, leafless, thin, wiry, spring-like structure is called tendril. With the help of tendril, they take support to other plants and climb towards area. That's all. That is the function of tendrils. Example pea, Fabaceae family members. Chlorophyll example asparagus. Chlorophyll. Don't confuse. Phylloclad means modified stem, but chlorophyll means modified branch. Example asparagus. It is a type of desert plant, monocot plant. The entire branch, green in color, perform photosynthesis. Clear? Next, phyllodes. Phyllodes means modified petiole. Modified petiole is called phyllodes. The best example, important example, Australian acacia. Because in acacia, leaves are short-lived. After some time period, leaves dry and drop off. Then petiole, highly elongated. Petiole is highly elongated, flat in shape and green in color. Phyllodes, that is called phyllodes. Phyllodes perform photosynthesis. Phylloclad, chlorophyll, phyllodes. Three terms, their meaning along with examples, very important. I am expecting one question compulsorily from phyllodes, chlorophyll and phyllodes in main NEET object exam, right? That is about leaf modifications. Next, inflorescence. Till now we have discussed vegetative parts of a plant, root, types of root modifications. Next, stem modifications. Leaf, types of leaves, leaf modifications. Whole topic completed. Next, to inflorescence. Inflorescence means the mode of arrangement of flowers on the floral axis or peduncle. Floral axis also called peduncle. That is called inflorescence. Okay, once I repeat, the mode means method. The method of arrangement of flowers on the floral axis or peduncle is technically known as inflorescence. Even not only color of the flower, even arrangement of the flower also give beauty to the nature. It gives beauty to the nature. Based on the arrangement, inflorescence again are of two kinds: racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence. Racemose and cymose, both important. Racemose means what? If flowers arise from base to tip, such inflorescence is called racemose inflorescence. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. When flowers arise from base to tip of the inflorescence, the type of arrangement of flowers on the floral axis or peduncle is called racemose inflorescence. Okay, it is also called acropetal succession. Acropetal succession. Technical term. Acropetal means flowers arise from base to tip of the peduncle. That is called acropetal succession. One more point. In racemose inflorescence, inflorescence shows continuous growth. Continuous growth. That means indefinite growth. That's all. Next, cymose. Cymose means flowers arise from tip to base. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flowers arise from tip to base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is opposite to racemose inflorescence. Hence it is called basipetal succession. Basipetal succession. When flowers arise from tip to base, base to tip, then it is said to be acropetal succession. Or else what? When flowers arise from tip to base, then it is known as basipetal succession. In cymose inflorescence, peduncle shows limited growth, definite growth. But in racemose, indefinite growth, continuous growth. That is the difference between racemose and cymose inflorescence. That's all. Right? NCERT book concepts. Racemose inflorescence, the best example, mango flower. Cymose, the best example, Ipomea batatas. That means sweet potato. Sweet potato scientific name is Ipomea batatas. Mango plant scientific name, Mangifera indica. Right? Next to flower character. Flower. Which is sex organ in a plant? Flower. You know very well what is flower, what are the parts in a flower, types of flowers, etc. Broadly, flowers are of two kinds, unisexual and bisexual. Unisexual flower also called incomplete flower, whereas bisexual flower also termed as complete flower. In a unisexual flower, sex character, either male or female, only one of the sex character is present. Whereas in bisexual, single flower contains both male and female characters, androecium and gynoecium. And you know very well what are the parts in a bisexual flower. Bisexual flower also called hermaphrodite flowers. The term hermaphrodite indicates bisexual character. Example, some animals and majority of plants. Animals example, earthworm, leech. Okay, earthworm, leech, sponges and tapeworm. These are some examples of bisexual animals, also called hermaphrodites. And bisexual plants, there are many examples. Okay, hibiscus, rose, tamarind, neem, banyan tree. Majority of plants are bisexual plants because flower has both androecium and gynoecium. In case of bisexual flower has four parts: sepal, petal, androecium and gynoecium. Okay. Whorl. Each whorl equals to one circle. Outer whorl of the flower possesses sepals, and second whorl of the flower contains petals. Third whorl of the flower comprises stamens. Innermost whorl of the flower, it has gynoecium. That means carpel or pistil. Group of sepals is called calyx. Group of petals called corolla, and group of stamens called androecium. Group of pistil or carpel called gynoecium. These are common names and technical terms of a flower. Floral parts also called floral appendages. floral appendages. Okay. Next, suppose first we discuss about calyx. Number of calyx, 3 to many, 3 to many. Trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous, polymerous. Trimerous means number of sepals 3. Tetramerous 4 sepals. Pentamerous 5 sepals. Polymerous more than 5. Similarly, petals also. Number of petals. See, same terminology. Number of, suppose trimerous means 3 petals, tetramerous 4 petals, pentamerous 5 petals, polymerous many petals, more than 5. This terminology is very important, right? Next, calyx. Calyx is outermost whorl of the flower. That is green in color. It protects floral appendages when it is in bud stage. Right? Next, petals. Group of petal called corolla, which is attractive part in a flower petal that attracts insects. Indirectly, petal also play a crucial role in pollination. That's all. It gives beauty to the nature. And the third whorl of the flower possesses androecium. Okay. Here you must know some technical terms. Regarding sepals, petals, and androecium. Gamocephalous, gamopetalous. Next, polycephalous and polypetalous. Terms meaning important. Gamo means united. Combined. Gamocephalous, sepals united. Gamopetalous, petals united. Petalous means petals. Cephalous means sepals. That's all. Next, polycephalous, sepals free. Polypetalous, petals free. Terms very important. Clear? Next, go through androecium. Group of stamen is called androecium. Okay. Androecium has 2 parts, filament and anther. Anther, it is said to be bilobed and each lobe has dithecus. Total anther has 4 theca, tetrathecus. Theca also called microsporangium or pollen sac. Right? Filament and anther. Anther, it is said to be bilobed. Each lobe has dithecus having 2 theca. 1, 2. Total anther has 4 theca called tetrathecus or tetrasporangiate. Theca also called pollen sac. Okay. Next. Okay, that is about androecium. Group of stamen is called androecium. In some plants, in some flowers, filament attached with sepals. That is called epicephalous. Epipetalous. And epiphyllous. 3 terms meaning important. Epi means up, cephalous means sepals. When filament attached with the sepal, then it is said to be epicephalous. Next, petalous. filament attached with the petals. Epiphyllus. Phyllis means perianth. Phyllis means perianth. Perianth. Perianth means similar type of sepal and petal is called perianth. That's all. Okay. These are the important terminology regarding androecium. In some plants, all stamens unite into one bundle. That is called monoadelphous. Monoadelphous. Then diadelphous. And diadelphous. Next polyadelphous. Polyadelphous. Monoadelphous example hibiscus. Diadelphous example pea. Polyadelphous an example citrus. Examples very important, right? Monoadelphous means large number of stamens unite into one bundle. Monoadelphous example hibiscus. Diadelphous large number of stamens united into two bundles. 9 plus 1 arrangement. 9 plus 1 arrangement example pea plants. Is polyadelphous large number of stamens united into 4 bundles example citrus. This is technical terminology related to androecium particularly, right? Next to estivation. 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 What is estivation? The mode of arrangement of sepals or petals on the thalamus is called estivation. It is again are of 4 kinds. It is again are of 4 kinds. Velvet estivation, twisted estivation, imbricate estivation, and a vexillary estivation. Vexillary estivation important. Velvet estivation example mustard. Twisted estivation example calotropis. Calotropis. Imbricate estivation the best example acacia. And vexillary estivation example pea, bean, etc. In NCERT book clearly diagrams also given. Once go to diagrammatic representation. Velvet estivation. Here all sepals or petals arranged free from each other without overlapping. Without overlapping. That is called velvet estivation. Example mustard. Twisted estivation means what? One margin of the appendages overlaps another margin. Okay, one margin out, one margin in, one margin out, one margin in. The type of arrangement of sepals or petals on the thalamus is known as twisted estivation. Example calotropis. Another example hibiscus also. Another example hibiscus, China rose, hibiscus. Then imbricate estivation. Example acacia. Out of 5 sepals, 1 sepal or 1 petal. Best example petal, not sepal, petal. Out of 5 petals, 1 petal completely inside and 1 petal completely outside located, and the rest of 3 petals, 1 margin in, 1 margin out, 1 margin in, 1 margin out. That type of arrangement is called 1 plus 3 arrangement. 1 plus 3 arrangement. Right? And vexillary estivation. Example pea and bean. 1 plus 2 plus 2 arrangement. One is standard petal, which is very big in size. That is also called vexillum. 2 wings. two keel petals. Keel petals are united. United. That's why two I kept within the bracket. That means united. 1 plus 2 plus 2 arrangement. That is called vehicular estivation. Example, all Fabaceae members, pea, bean, etc. This is about estivation, types of estivation. Clear? And I forgot one point for leaf. Venation, types of venation. Reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation common in all dicot leaves, whereas parallel venation common in all grass plants. Reticulate venation means fish net-like structure, mesh or net-like structure arrangement of veins in the lamina is called reticulate venation. Next, parallel venation means large number of veins run parallel to each other along the length of the lamina. That is called parallel venation. Example, grass plants. That's all. That talk I forgot. I'll leave it. Next, it is about estivation, types of estivation along with examples. Next, placentation. 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 The term placentation defined as a process of arrangement of ovules attached with placenta. That means the process of arrangement of ovules with the placenta inside the ovary, within the ovary is called placentation. It is again are of various kinds, right? Marginal placentation, parietal placentation, axial placentation, free central placentation, and basal placentation. Marginal example, pea, bean, etc. Parietal example, mustard, argemone, etc. Axial example, citrus, tomato, etc. Next, free central example, basal example, sunflower, etc. And free central, the best example, dianthus. So placentation, different types of placentation along with examples, very important. I am expecting one question compulsorily from estivation and placentation, right? All of you observe diagrammatic representation followed by examples. That's it, right? That is about flower, types of flower, parts in a flower, different terminology, estivation, types of estivation, examples, placentation, types of placentation, and examples. That's all. Next to character, fruit. Fruit is modified flower because after fertilization, the part of the flower modify into fruit. After fertilization, some changes occur in a flower that are called post-fertilization events, such as sepals dry and drop off, petals dry and drop off, style and stigma dry and drop off, ovary become fruit wall, ovules become seeds, integuments means outer envelopes, integuments become seed coat. Seed coat has two layers, outer layer, inner layer. Outer layer testa, inner layer tegmen, and micropyle become seed pore. What is micropyle? It is natural opening in ovule. Means embryo sac. Pollen tube enter into embryo sac and discharge male gametes into embryo sac. That is called micropyle. So micropyle become seed pore. Through seed pore, seed absorb moisture, temperature and oxygen, then bulge in size that leads to seed germination, seed sprouting, that's all. These are the several changes occur in a flower after fertilization. Hence fruit is flower modification, right? Fruits are of two kinds, fleshy fruits, dry fruits. Dry fruit example, cashew nut, groundnut, etc. Out of NCERT, leave it. But go through fleshy fruits. NCERT book examples, mango and coconut. When fruit is fleshy, then fruit wall has three distinct layers, namely epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. Epicarp outer layer, mesocarp middle layer, endocarp inner layer. In case of mango, epicarp and mesocarp are edible, but endocarp is non-edible, not eatable. In case of coconut also a type of drupe fruit, right? Coconut is drupe. Epicarp is take one green color coconut. Outermost soft green layer is there, no? That is called epicarp. Middle coir, fibrous coir is called mesocarp. Inner stony cup, coconut cup is there, no? Very hard cup, that is called endocarp. Hence, in coconut, epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp are non-eatable. But which is edible? Endosperm is edible. Endosperm are of two kinds in coconut, liquid endosperm and cellular endosperm. Cellular endosperm means kernel. Liquid endosperm means that is equals to water. But it is not true water, liquid endosperm. Good for health, rich in nutrients. Good for health and rich in nutrients. That is about fruit, mango, coconut. Very important. Next concept. Here we are discussing only NCERT concepts here, not beyond that. Then seed. Seed are of two kinds, monocot seed, dicot seed. Okay, dicot seed and monocot seed. In NCERT book clearly mentioned dicot seed diagram, LS of dicot seed and LS of monocot seed. Study carefully diagrammatic representation. At the same time identify what are the parts, labeling in diagram. Particularly LS of monocot seed diagram, very important for NEET objective exam. Sometimes they may ask based on LS of dicot seed also, right? Number of cotyledons in dicot seeds are 2. Hence it is called dicot seed. Such plants are called dicot plants. In monocot seed it has only one cotyledon. In monocot seed, cotyledon equals to scutellum. Cotyledon, that equals to scutellum. That's all, right? So read paragraph lines and observe dicot seed, LS of dicot seed diagram, LS of monocot seed diagram, and observe differences. Read paragraph lines. Now seeds are of two kinds, whether present or absence of endosperm. Endospermic seeds, endospermic or albuminous seeds. Albuminous seeds. Example, dicot seeds. Dicot seeds. Second one, non-endospermic seeds. Non-endospermic seeds are also called X-albuminous seeds. Example, reverse. Endospermic seed example, monocots. Monocot seeds. Next to non-endospermic seeds, example dicot seeds, right? Seed with endosperm. Actually, endosperm is nutrient layer, nourishment layer. It nourishes developing embryo. After development of seed, still small amount of endosperm remain attached with the seed. Okay, that is called, such seeds are called endospermic seeds or albuminous seeds. The best example, majority of monocot seeds and a very few dicot seeds. Dicot seeds example, sunflower, castor, etc. Next, non-endospermic seeds also called exogenous seeds, example dicot seeds. After development of seed, endosperm completely consumed, called non-endospermic seeds. That's all. Next, that is about fruit character, seed character. Next, go through taxonomy. Taxonomy. Semi-technical description of your flowering plants. It includes taxonomy. Some symbols are there. Symbols. BR, EBR, BR, BRL. Okay. EBR, EBRL. Next, plus symbol, percentage symbol, K, C, A, G. Hypogenous, perigenous, epigenous. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols. Bracket. This is symbols. Some symbols belongs to taxonomy. BR means bract. A flower with the bract is called bracteate. Bract means thin, flattened, green color leafy structure arise from the base of the flower, means stalk of the flower. Such leafy structures are called bracts. A flower with the bract is called bracteate flower. BRL, bracteolate. Bracteolate means bracts absent. EBR, a bract. EBRL, a bracteolate. Okay, a bract means BRL. See, bract, a bract. Bract opposite to a bract. Bracteolate example, a bracteolate opposite to a bracteolate. Anyway, bract and bracteolate, these two are thin leaflet structures arise from stalk of the flower. That's all. A bract, bracts absent. A bracteolate, bracteoles are absent. Plus symbol, actinomorphic. Actinomorphic means radial symmetry. If you want cut flower in any direction passing through the center, flower cut into two equal halves called actinomorphic. Percentage symbol, zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means bilateral symmetry. K for calyx, C for corolla, A for androecium, G for gynoecium. Line, suppose it indicates epigenous flower, perigenous flower, hypogenous flower. 1, 2, 3, 4 indicates number of sepals, petals, stamens, etc. Even carpels also. Bracket symbol represent united. United. This is about semi-technical description of a flowering plants. Okay. Next, there are 4 families. Actually, Brassicaceae, but Brassicaceae family total matter not given. Just Brassicaceae family diagram, floral diagram, and floral formula only mentioned. Remember, all 4 families floral diagram: Brassicaceae, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, and Liliaceae. Observe at a time all 4 diagrams, floral diagrams, and you must observe the difference between arrangement of sepals, petals, stamens, and carpels, etc. Number of sepals in all 4 diagrams, number of petals in all 4 diagrams, number of stamens and their arrangement observe in all diagrams. Number of carpels also important, right? This type of comparative study is very essential, particularly for taxonomy. Otherwise, you may not remember these many points. Okay, next floral formula. Brassicaceae, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae. All four families. Floral formula also important. And the last point, economic importance of families. In Brassicaceae not given, leave it. Go through Fabaceae, Solanaceae and Liliaceae. Three families, economic importance. Plant common names, scientific names. And some plants are medicinal plants. Some plants are vegetable yielding plants. Some are pulse crops. Okay, some are ornamental plants. So my dear students, at a time you go through Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae, all three families, economic importance, their scientific names are very important. You leave vegetative characters, root, stem, leaf, these characters leave it. But floral characters very important. Inflorescence, flower characters, floral diagram, floral formula, and economic importance of three families very important. Understood now? These are the main points covered from morphology of flowering plants. Very important chapter. Prepare well. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.